Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. This is the Blu-ray horror Blu-ray collection video that I normally do. Try to do once a year. Sometimes I miss out on it, but sometimes I don't. And this year I certainly didn't want to miss out on it because I love October and you guys have been really asking for it. So here we go with the Blu-ray collection video. Now I will say that I'm going to be talking about several Blu-rays. I'll talk about several movies, but I'm not going to sit there and talk about every single one of them. If I haven't seen the movie, I'll just kind of skim right through and set it down, and that's about it. But if I have seen them, I'll let you guys know generally what I think of them, and if it's a movie I've reacted to, I'll give you guys what I think about them more now than I did back then because I've had more time to think about that movie. So this is going to be fun. I'm hoping you guys enjoy. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into this, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. Take a drink of my Crouchy the Clown Spirit Halloween cup coffee. They made the movie, and I was very excited about this because I love clowns. I love movies that have to revolve around clowns and amusement parks and stuff, and this movie to me was just fine. They really could have gone the extra mile with some of the clown makeup and stuff, but I get it. It's a Rob Zombie movie, so I mean, literally the aristocrats looked more like clowns than the actual clowns looked like clowns. It was pretty bizarre. But Doomhead was good. The guy who played Doomhead, Richard Brake, I think is his name. Richard Brake was probably the best part of this movie. Watch it for him alone. I think he is just too cool as this character. I would almost actually want to see a sequel with him in it as Doomhead. I think that'd be great because he was that good. So it was a fine movie. I bought it, you know. I'll watch it again at some point. These movies I have not seen yet, so I can't really talk about them, but I do own them. They were sent to me 47 Meters Down and 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Still have yet to watch them, but I'm looking forward to the day when I actually do check these out because they were sent to me and I want to get to them, but I just have not yet. So those are those. Another movie I have not seen, 65. I'm not even sure if this is a horror film, but the concept in the trailer looked like a very horror-esque movie. It's like a horror sci-fi, I'm assuming, but I'll check it out at some point. You know, I'm a decent fan of Adam Driver. Classic from childhood, The Addams Family. I'm not sure what more I can say about this. Christopher Lloyd as Fester always killed me, made me laugh so much. This was a movie I used to watch as a kid all the time, every Halloween, and it's one I'm going to be watching again continuing every Halloween. Don't really need to talk about that one too much. The Alien franchise. This is the little Alien box set that we got. I've only seen the first two Aliens and Prometheus, so the rest of the franchise is still relatively new to me. I did enjoy Alien a lot. I thought the first Alien was awesome. I really enjoyed Aliens, not as much as the first one. I'm a big horror guy. The first one captured the horror vibe a lot better than Aliens did. Aliens, you know, was more of an action movie, an action sci-fi, which is fine, but it wasn't really, I prefer the first one. And then Prometheus, I actually surprisingly enjoyed. It's slow burn, but it was enjoyable. But the rest of them I have yet to watch. I have yet to watch Alien 3, Resurrection, and Covenant. So I'm a decent fan of the franchise so far. So far, what I've seen, I like. This was sent to me by Jason Dominguez, Alligator. Have yet to watch it, so I can't really give my thoughts. But he sent me the 4K and the 3-disc set at that. So thank you so much, Jason. Looking forward to watching that killer animal movie. You know what I'm saying? An American Werewolf in London, one of those properties I probably tend to upgrade to 4K, or at least a better version of this Blu-ray, because I think this Blu-ray is just underwhelming. Every time I look at this Blu-ray, it doesn't make me want to watch the movie. I just feel so underwhelmed just looking at this case and everything. There's probably better versions of it. You know, the case actually surprisingly makes me want to watch a movie sometimes. Yeah, when you look at how badass some of the cases look. But this one's kind of boring, so I will upgrade this at some point because I do love American Werewolf in London. Okay, so the first one we got up here is a double feature for 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. I reacted to both of these movies up on my channel right now, so if you want to go back and watch those, you guys can. Very unique way, a very unique take on the zombie kind of virus movie. People lose their minds when you say zombies, that they're virus. It's a virus movie. Get it right and stuff. I still consider it to be a zombie movie because once you get attacked or bit by these things, you turn into one of them. So it's kind of like a zombie film. They don't eat you like zombies, but they are, you know, zombies are the living dead. But it's still kind of in that realm. So I still put it in the zombie kind of genre. This is the first one I like a lot. The first one is really good, really likable characters. Just overall, really enjoyed it. And, you know, there was a lot of intense moments, a lot of creepy moments, a lot of out there bizarre moments. And, you know, the ending was actually damn good. The sequel, 28 Weeks Later, I think did everything wrong that the first one got right, and it just fell flat for me. I didn't like the characters. I thought there was a lot of stupid decision making. The opening to 28 Weeks Later was awesome. I will give it that. The opening, great stuff, but the movie itself just fell flat. Didn't really care for it. No, not really at all. But that's about it for that one. But the first one's really good. Here's a movie I have not seen in a while. 30 Days of Night. Dude, this was a crazy vampire film. crazy. I got to rewatch it. I can't really give too much on it. I can't go into full detail, but it was I really dug the hell out of it. I got to go back. I got to go back and check that one out again. Here's a more recent pickup, Rob Zombie's 31. Now, a lot of people do not like this movie. Basically, it's about a group of people who just get kidnapped by a aristocratic group of people, like rich people, who want to put on this like little survival game, like personal survival game, and they get a bet on who's going to survive like one night against 31 killer clowns or whatever. Or 31 hours. You have like 31 hours to survive, and there's a group of killer clowns that are trying to kill these people for, you know, these rich guys as entertainment. And it's a very out there Rob Zombie-esque movie. I mean, I remember when I saw the campaign for this. I think it was like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and you could actually help out with this movie because Rob Zombie just was not going to fund it out of his own pocket. And once the money got raised, another one I'll probably upgrade, American Psycho. I don't love it like a lot of people do. There are some people who like religiously love this film and put it up there in their like top 5. I'm not one of those people. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's quotable as hell, but it's not one of my personal favorites. It might be my personal favorite Christian Bale performance. I love the Dark Knight trilogy, but he was awesome as Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. So, yeah, I will say I really enjoyed that one. Next up is our first box set, the Amityville Horror Trilogy. This is out of print now. I think this is like $70. You have to pay like $70 to get this now, which is I'm like very thankful I decided to get it when I did. Or it was really a Christmas present, was what it was, but has the first 3 Amityville Horrors in it. First Amityville Horror was good. The Amityville Horror 2, The Possession, is my personal favorite of this original trilogy, and then Amityville 3D is kind of a throwaway horror film. But the first 2 were fine. I like them. And, you know, Amityville 2 is weird, it's bizarre, it's kind of interesting.
It has stood empty for a long while. And at the price, it is a bargain. For a growing young family, James Brolin, Margot Kidder, Rod Steiger, in the Amityville Horror.
I'm coming apart! Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
You will never forget, and you will believe in the Amityville Horror.
Than that. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that sequel. Anaconda, it's been a long time since I've watched it. I just remember the CGI snake and Ice Cube, of course. But, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. A movie I have not seen, Annihilation. Got to get around to this at some point. But until then, I haven't seen it. Can't give you too much on it. Arachnophobia. Me and my buddy Lane checked this one out. He came over one day. We used to do this all the time where he would come over, we would watch a movie, and he's like, have you seen Arachnophobia? And I'm like, nope. We were scrolling through movies, and this is one that came up, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen it yet. And we sat down and watched it, and I gotta tell you, really enjoyable, really fun. Good stuff. Army of Frankensteins. I've seen Frankenstein's Army, but not this one. Can't give you too much of a thought. I think I got that during like a horror pack. Yeah, no, I'm confident that's a horror pack. The Arrival. I bought this when I worked at the mall. Yep, when I was the Easter Bunny working at the mall. We went to like a used movie and bookstore, and this was the only one I saw that I was kind of interested in because I own every other Blu-ray that was there. And I have not watched it yet. Here's an interesting one. This is kind of a movie that I have a love-hate relation with. Let me go ahead and drink some coffee. Ooh. Okay, this is definitely one I have a love-hate relation with. The Babadook. A lot of people probably love this film. I think people are actually, this is one of those movies that is very love-hate. Like, you either love it or you hate it. And I'm more along, maybe not even that, because I do like it. I don't love it or hate it. I like it. The performances by the mother specifically, one of the most underappreciated performances ever. She should have been actually nominated for an Academy Award. That's how good she was in this movie. She was phenomenal. And little kid was good. He was good in this movie. Let me say that first off and foremost, because a lot of people like to just bash on the kid because he's annoying. But that was the point of the character. I will say that. But as a whole performance, he did an amazing job. This little dude did an amazing job as being this obnoxious little brat. But I will say that that is one of the reasons why this movie is kind of unwatchable. Is because of how obnoxious this little kid is. This kid is so obnoxious and so unlikable in this movie that it's almost hard to get through it. So I do love it. I love the creature design. The ending was a little bit meh. I think the ending can be better, but as a film goes, it's a fine movie. It really is. And if you have not seen The Babadook, I still highly recommend checking it out at least once in your life to at least say you've seen it. Because I don't like when people tell me, I've heard some negative things about it, but you haven't watched it. Watch the movie and then you can give it negative reviews. But unless you've seen the movie, don't talk about it, right? Don't talk about if you've seen it. Just watch it. Trust me. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's actually pretty damn good. Bait 3D, have not yet watched it, but it is one I want to watch for like B-movie blowout when me and my buddy, hopefully at someday, will actually sit down and watch like low-budget trash while drinking alcohol, and we just get wasted and watch stupid shit. Speaking of low budget, the Banana Splits movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, please be better. Please be better. This is not bad, but Five Nights is going to be better. Come on. Come on, Five Nights. Another classic. Kind of like Addams Family, one I used to watch as a kid a lot. Beetlejuice, another one I'll probably upgrade to 4K. Love it. Michael Keaton, what else can I say about it? I mean, literally everything that's been said about Beetlejuice has already been said. Beetlejuice, not going to say it. But then again, I already did, because I was talking about it beforehand. The Belko Experiment, have yet to watch it. All right. Row 2, baby. Let me go ahead and take a sip of coffee. Better Watch Out. I have yet to watch it. I bought it at Walmart when I was working at Walmart, and that's what I do a lot, would be just buy movies. Right after work, I'd like during my lunch break, I would go look at the movies, and then after I clock out, I'd go and buy them. But yeah, Better Watch Out. That's when Walmart was open 24/7. You remember those days when they were open 24/7 and you can go shopping afterwards? Yeah. Yeah, have yet to watch that one. Another low-budget movie I have yet to watch that was sent to me, Bigfoot. Can't wait to watch that one. Looks like a lot of fun. Oh. This is an absolute, when you want to talk about some of the most underappreciated horror films of all time, Black Christmas.
Hello?
Hey, Mommy. Hey, baby. Baby, all right, Mommy.
Who's there?
I know you're there, now see me! You answer me as man!
Black Christmas. If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight.
This movie, it's in my top 20 favorite horror films of all time. I love Black Christmas. I love the vibe. I love the feel. I love the atmosphere. I love the crazy psycho that they have in this movie, which you hardly see at all. It's so good. It's so good. Trust me. If you love Scream, please watch Black Christmas. Trust me. I mean, it was one of the first movies that actually introduced that kind of, there's a guy on the phone asking you crazy questions and saying crazy shit, making you uncomfortable. It's one of the first ones to do that. I think this is 1974. So a few years before, like, the original Halloween came out, and it's so good. It's so good. Please, if you have not seen Black Christmas, oh my God. It's one of those ones, because, one of my biggest things is the more they tell you about the killer or the psycho or whatever, I think it takes away from the scare factor. And this movie, you're wondering who this guy is the entire time. You don't know who he is. And the things he says are disgusting. He's just off the walls. He does not give a shit what he says over the phone. It is some crazy stuff. Listening to him talk over the phone to like the main characters, is some of the craziest moments in film history, man, in like horror film history. I love it. And speaking of phones, we got The Black Phone. Now we're on a roll. This is some gold. The Black Phone, my favorite film of 2022. Ethan Hawke, the sister in this movie, so good. The directing, it feels like a Stephen King movie, and it is written by Stephen King's son, so that goes to be no surprise. This is some of the best. This is the best, one of the personally my favorite film of last year. I love The Black Phone. Love it, love it, love it. So good. So happy to own this. I'm surprised they didn't come out with a 4K though. I thought they were going to come out with a 4K, but they didn't. It was only Blu-ray. But I'm happy to own it either way. I don't care. As long as I own it in my collection, I'm happy. A lot of John Wayne Gacy vibes, a lot of It vibes in this, but it feels realistic. Like when you watch like the It movies, you get a sense that you're watching some sort of fantasy movie at the same time, but this one actually feels like it's a legitimate, this actually could happen in your town. Yeah. The Blair Witch Project, another gold movie in my opinion. Probably the best found footage film I've ever seen because it feels so raw, feels so genuine, feels legitimate. I mean, and a lot of found footage films that you watch today do not feel that legitimate. They don't feel that rawness. The one I watched last time that had a kind of a feeling of rawness was Skin of Marink, and I have yet to buy that one. But the Blair Witch Project is my personal favorite found footage movie of all fucking time. Love it, love it, love it. We'll watch it probably till the day I die, and I know a lot of people don't like it because they think it's boring. Blair Witch from 2016. Blair Witch, you see, this is another one of those examples, man, where at first I liked it, and I love how red the case is. That's probably one of the reasons why I keep it in my collection, because it looks badass. I like it. After the second time watching it, I really did not like it. And the reason why I didn't like it is because they told way too much. They showed way too much. And again, that's one of the things, man, where I'm worried about. I always get worried about when a sequel comes out to a movie, and there's so many franchises that are responsible for doing this. Blair Witch, Jeepers Creepers, they start telling too much about the thing that you're supposed to be scared of. And it takes away from that scare factor. You know, that Stephen King's It does the same thing. That's why I think a lot of people love the first part of It instead of the second part, because now we're starting to get into the history and the lore and what this thing is, and then it takes away from the scare value because the mystery's gone. You're like, oh, so that's what it is. And the Blair Witch does the same exact thing. By the end of the movie, you realize what everybody was talking about in that first Blair Witch Project. It's actually just a tall, yellowish woman, CGI woman, who's just running around the woods. It's not even that scary looking. It didn't ruin the first movie, but it definitely took away some of that scare factor, that scare value. The Blob. I have yet to watch the original, but this remake is damn good. Love the effects and all of that stuff. Great stuff. Blood Diner. Have yet to watch it. Can't really talk about it. The Boy. The Boy is another one of those movies that kind of, it works for me. It works. It's a fine little movie. But at the end of the day, I think the twist didn't work for me all too well. And I just wasn't too much of a fan of the vibe. I really felt like it needed more. Yeah, I know a lot of people really love that, but it's fine to me. The Brood. Can't really talk about it. Haven't seen it. But it was sent to me by Jason Dominguez, so thank you, Jason. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Did a movie reaction on this one. A lot of fun. Crazy good time. I enjoy the hell out of it. Funny as hell. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. Yeah, because he played a vampire in that movie, and he was funny. Oh, is this... Yeah, The Burning. Oh, God. Speaking of... This is gold. Okay. Just like Black Christmas, The Burning is one of the best underappreciated slasher films of all time. When people ask me, what are some of the most underappreciated films you've ever seen? I always say The Burning and Black Christmas. Burning is... I'm a big fan of the camp setting. Camp Crystal Lake, Friday the 13th. Big fan of that stuff. I even like Sleepaway Camp 1. This might be... If Friday the 13th didn't exist, this would have been the best camp slasher. And as a matter of fact, I do think this is actually a better camp slasher than most of the Friday the 13th movies.
This summer, if you're planning to go camping, don't. If you're looking forward to midnight swims, don't. Because this summer, A Legend of Terror isn't just a campfire story anymore.
They say he smashed his way through the bunk room door, just a mass of flames. Burned alive, he cried out, "I will return! I will have my revenge!"
The Burning.
Because it has that camp feel. It has those likable characters, which is something some of the Friday the 13th movies lack on. Just a lot of fun. It has a lot of fun with the idea. And the killer is unique. So, and Tom Savini doing the effects. I mean, he's also the guy who did the effects for Part 4 for Friday the 13th and the original Friday the 13th. So he comes back and does this, and he does a phenomenal job. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I've seen this movie probably over 20 times now, and every time I watch it, I like it more. So definitely recommend checking that one out if you have not. What do we got here? Burnt Offerings. Did a movie reaction to this recently, and it's coming out this month, so be on the lookout for that. Burnt Offerings, a solid time, man. It's a very unique take on the haunted house genre film, whatever you want to call it. It's a bit of a slow burn in a sense. You know, some of the pacing can be off. But at the end of the day, man, I think if you're looking for a very unique take on a haunted house movie, you're going to find it in Burnt Offerings. It's there. It's just some of the payoffs and stuff don't really add up to me too much. I just think at the end of the day, it was at least a solid movie. I'm happy I saw it. I'll say that. Happy I saw it. The Call. I have not watched it, and there's a reason why I haven't watched it. I love Lynn Shay. I love Lynn Shay. You know, her in the Insidious franchise is some great stuff. Her cameo in Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, awesome. But I feel like she just picks up roles now, and as long as she gets a paycheck, she'll do it. and I just sometimes that kind of can be a turnoff for me when an actor does that, because then I'm like sitting here thinking the movie's gonna be garbage, but at least she's gonna be okay in it, right? So, and sometimes they phone the performances in, which is unfortunate too. But I haven't seen the movie, so I can't give no judgment. But when it comes to Lin Shaye's like decision making and in horror now, I'm a little bit mixed. Oh, Candyman, another one of those classics, right? Candyman, the first time I watched it was fine. I thought it was fine. The more I watched it though, because when I was a kid, it really didn't make much sense to me. And I think I saw this movie at the age of like 6 or 7. I'm not joking. And then later on, I watched it again, and I'm like, damn, this is a kind of a beautiful, romantic, weird, bizarre movie. And it's scary too. Like, there are some actual scary, legitimate moments. And obviously, the performance by Tony Todd is so iconic, and his voice is epic and everything. I mean, it's a good time, man. It's a good time. If you've not seen Candyman, highly recommend it. I've not seen the new one, really want to, but this movie, yeah, it's gained such a following. It's more today than it did back then, I'd say. Speaking of classics, we got the OG Carrie. Rest in peace, Piper Laurie. Piper Laurie passed away a couple days ago, so basic John Travolta. Piper Laurie should be on. It's crazy that John Travolta has his name on the cover, like, no joke. John Travolta has his name on the cover, but Piper Laurie doesn't. You know how crazy that is to me? John Travolta is barely in the fucking movie. He's maybe close to 10 minutes screen time, but he's not in the movie all that much. And the only reason why his name is on the cover is because it's John Travolta. He became somebody big, right? But Piper Laurie definitely deserved her name on next to Sissy Spacek, in my opinion. But absolute classic, the religious mother, probably the best here. The religious mother kind of nut job, performance is best. And Carrie, she is just bizarre. She is crazy. She is psycho. She makes you unsettled. She's unsettling. And, Sissy Spacek as Carrie is the best performance we've ever gotten of Carrie. There's been a lot of adaptations of Carrie now, and she captured that. As somebody who was bullied in school, man, there's a lot of moments I could absolutely relate to Carrie, where nobody was on her side, and you had to deal with assholes. Really a movie that just hit home for me.
The girl no one likes.
We're all sorry about this incident, Cassie.
It's Carrie!
And everyone makes fun of her.
Help the sinning woman see the sin of her days and ways. Show her that if she had remained sinless, the curse of blood would never have come.
Carrie. Starring Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, and introducing John Travolta in his first motion picture role. If you have a taste for terror, you have a date with Carrie.
Yeah, I truly love this film. I've seen it so many times now. And here's a movie, a lot of people give a shit to, but the remake of Carrie was not that bad. It is a shot-for-shot remake, grant you, but it's not bad. Chloe Grace Moretz does a great job. A lot of people were giving her shit for this film because she's too pretty for the performance, or she's too pretty to be Carrie. And look, Sissy Spacek was not a bad-looking girl either. So, and from what I can understand, I have not read the book Carrie, but Carrie was not meant to look anything like them. So I think they were both pretty, very pretty to play Carrie. But I think overall they both did awesome. I do think that Sissy Spacek captured that innocence better. That she was that very, just the innocence of, not knowing a lot and kind of discovering things, like how she had her period for the first time. I believed it way more in the original than I did here. So yeah. But Chloe Grace Moretz, I think, did a great job. Julianne Moore, who played the mom, good job. I was overall pleased with this. I remember watching Insidious Chapter 2 in theaters, and when the trailer came on for Carrie, I was so excited. I was like, hell yeah, let's get it going. It looked awesome. And you know what? The movie paid off for me. It was exactly what I expected and exactly what I got. So I liked it. I know a lot of people don't, but that's just me. Case 39, have yet to watch it. Case 39, Cell, have yet to watch it. Can't really say too much on it. Underappreciated movie again, The Changeling. Guys, if you have not watched The Changeling, highly recommend it. George C. Scott, haunted house, creepy stuff. Some of the best haunted house moments are in this movie when George C. Scott is doing his seances at his mansion, and then he goes back and listens to the recording, and you can actually hear the little boy like answering their questions. Creepy stuff. It chills me out till this day. What does the little boy say? Joseph. What does Joseph say? He goes and says, you know, how did you die? And he says, like, my father. It's creepy. It's creepy. I've yet to watch this, Castle Freak, but it was sent to me. I think this was sent to me by Crystal Warner, I think, who sent me this, I think. But I have yet to watch it. The Children did a reaction to this movie. Weird, bizarre. It's trauma. What else can I say? It's trauma. So, yeah. An underrated classic from my childhood. Children of the Corn. It's not one of his best. It just ain't. But, man, would I be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it? I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I have distinct memories as a kid, like turning on the Sci-Fi Channel around Halloween time, and that scene towards the end of the movie where they're burning down the cornfield and that CGI creature comes out always kind of terrified me as a kid.
The nightmare. In Gatlin, Nebraska, that nightmare is in the corn. Stephen King's Children of the Corn.
Praise God! Praise the Lord!
From Stephen King, the author of Carrie, The Shining, The Dead Zone, and Christine, an adult nightmare. Children of the Corn.
I'm here, Lord! I'm ready!
Stephen King's Children of the Corn, an adult nightmare.
It's not perfect by any means necessary, and the performances are fun. The kids, people that the guy who played Isaac when he was like in his 20s, he did this when he was in his 20s, but yet you could tell he was like, he acted just like a kid. It was awesome, man. Malachi was annoying to me. I wanted to smack that guy. Like, just like every time he would talk and just act like he was superior, I just wanted to smack him. But it's a good time, man. At the end of the day, if you're into Stephen King, bad or good, you might find a lot of enjoyment out of Children of the Corn. All right. Finally, we're getting into a slasher franchise. And you know what it is if you're paying attention alphabetically. Chucky and the remake of Child's Play. Chucky, dude, we go down the list. Child's Play, awesome, love it. Child's Play 2, my personal favorite of the franchise. Child's Play 3 is okay. It's not one of my personal favorites. It's just fine. Bride of Chucky, a lot of fun. Seed of Chucky, oh boy. Curse of Chucky, great comeback. Loved Curse of Chucky. Surprised the hell out of me. And then Cult of Chucky, which in my opinion is the worst of the franchise. Yeah, I after a while, I've had more time to think about it. Cult of Chucky is just the one I just have no interest in going back and checking out at all. At least in Seed of Chucky, there are some enjoyable moments. It's kind of bad, it's good, so bad it's good, that I can find a little bit more enjoyment out of Seed of Chucky than I can Cult of Chucky. But Cult of Chucky to me was just dumb. I didn't care for the twist. They wasted Andy Barclay coming back. It's just not for me. And then the Child's Play remake, which a lot of people did not like and still do not like because of the way the doll looks. Yeah, there are people who probably just hate this movie in general just because the doll looks like shit. And I can't really blame them. The doll is kind of an important part of the movie. It's kind of like when you have a Michael Myers mask and you want the mask to be good, and if the mask looks like shit, it takes away from the movie. The look of Chucky can do the same thing. I call him Buddy more than I do Chucky. I call him Buddy because he really wasn't Chucky to me. He was just it was just a remake version of that doll. I thought it was enjoyable. The humor worked for me. I thought the kills were pretty damn creative and cool. I just overall dug it, and the fact that he was an AI gone wrong, I think was neat. It's a good modern day take on the story. But Chucky will always be Chucky in the original franchise. He was the soul of a serial killer who got placed into a doll. That is Chucky to me. This guy was Buddy, an AI gone wrong.
Good night, Chucky.
This is no accident.
Andy!
I'm Detective Mike Norris. Homicide.
Andy!
Miss Peterson's dead, Miss Barkley. She fell from the kitchen window.
Yeah, I know who was on the counter. Andy!
Who, Andy?
Chucky.
There's nothing innocent about Child's Play.
Chillerama, weird. Weird as fuck. Movie I hated at first, but then I grew attached to. Christine. Absolute banger of a movie. Oh god, the car, the style, John Carpenter. Good. Clown, surprising. I think the guy went on to direct the Spider-Man movies, right? Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming and No Way Home and stuff like that. I think so. So, yeah, it was fine, man. It was good. I liked it. Cloverfield, have yet to watch it. Can't give too much thought, but I did buy the 4K. It was like $10. I gotta watch it at some point. I will get around to that. It's one of those ones I definitely want to watch. Another one I want to watch that I bought in Cocaine Bear. I will get to it. That title alone, man, got me excited as hell. Cocaine Bear? Are you serious? That sounds awesome. Some of the most underappreciated here. Let me take a quick sip. My throat's getting dry. Ooh, okay. Underappreciated little slasher franchise that me and my friend watched a little while back, and we enjoyed ever since. And it's a shame we're not getting a sequel, but we got The Collector and The Collection. The Collector, dude, was so good. So good. Home Alone mixed with Saw, basically. Oh, so fucking good. I love it. The Collection, however, it's good, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original, in my opinion. The Collection was a good, like, sequel to this movie, and it ended on a note where I'm, like, curious how it would have continued. Unfortunately, we're not getting a sequel. I think we were going to get The Collected, but it's not going to happen no more. Kills me because it's like they could have done so much with that franchise. Speaking of franchise, I'm just going to bullet point the shit out of this franchise because I could sit here probably talking about these for hours, and I just don't find the need. To do that. So let's just go ahead and bullet point them. I'll give you guys my quick thoughts on each one of them. First up, we got The Conjuring, the original film from 2013. The original film from 2013. Awesome, modern day classic. So good. Scared me. First time going to the theaters, walking out, shaking, almost threw my popcorn. That wardrobe scene when Andrea gets up and walks over to the wardrobe and then shuts it, and then she looks up and sees Bathsheba Sherman sitting on top of it, crouched over, and jumps on her. Terrified the hell out of me. Great stuff. Love that movie. Annabelle, dog shit. Blunt, simple. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I'd put it up there in my top 10 probably. I really do not like Annabelle. Conjuring 2, good comeback. It should have been this one right after Conjuring 1, but we got Annabelle because, cash grabby, and that's just how Hollywood works. But Conjuring 2, good movie. James Wan coming back. Great stuff. Annabelle movie we should have got first, which is Annabelle Creation, which is actually a fun roller coaster movie. It has nothing to do with the true story. It's just one of those cash grabby movies, but at least it does it in a way where it's fun and enjoyable and has decent characters, and the doll is probably creepier in this than she was in the first Annabelle. Good stuff. Then we really get into the cash grabby stuff, which apparently this isn't even a part of the Conjuring universe anymore, but it's from the producers of the Conjuring universe, which is The Curse of La Llorona, which was fine. It's fine, but it's not based in the Conjuring universe. It's just based on a local legend from Mexico, and it's fine. That's probably all I can say about it. It's fine. And then we got The Nun, which surprised me the first time around because of how boring it was. And then the second time around, I enjoyed it a lot more. Valak, yes, was unnecessary to give that character a franchise on its own because Valak had truly nothing to do with the original story or anything to do with what happened with the Warrens. It had nothing to do with that. Valak was never even mentioned in that shit. But we got a movie based on Valak, so there's The Nun. It's fine. It's a fine little movie. It can be boring. Give it a second chance. You might like it more. And then we have Annabelle Comes Home, which is probably the most... It will piss you off more than any other movie in the franchise, besides the third Conjuring movie. Because it literally, all it's doing is just trying to attempt to open up more possibilities for cash grab spin-offs. They try to go through every item in the Warren Museum, giving you some sort of creepy backstory slightly for each one, like a werewolf and all that stuff, and they just try to open up the possibility, open the doors. Hey, you want to see a movie about that one? You want to see a movie about that one? How about another one with the crooked man? How about another one with that guy? The coins over the eyes. And it's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. It really was. That's all, to me, that's all that I got out of this movie was just the possibilities of, like, cash grab. I mean, fucking stupid, I'm going to be honest. Crawl, surprising. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. Me and my family watched this, and we were laughing. We were having fun. The intensity was there. It was good. Crimson Peak. I've yet to watch it, but I do like Guillermo del Toro. I have not seen a lot of Guillermo del Toro movies. I have not seen Crimson Peak. I have not seen Pan's Labyrinth. They will be coming at some point. And then we got another franchise, another box set. Well, of course, done by Scream Factory, which is the Critters Collection and Critters Attack. But I don't think this was done by Scream Factory. No. But Critters Attack, I have yet to watch it. I have yet to watch any movie after the first one. I've seen the first one, enjoyed it, fun little sci-fi horror film, but I have yet to continue after that. So, at some point, it's gonna happen. It's just not right now. But yeah, Critters collection. Woo! Critters, yay! It's fine. Okay, continuing on. And again, I'm just gonna bullet point shit. So, I'm not gonna be talking about too much because look back there, we still have like 3 more rows left. All right. Kind of like Children of the Corn. We got Cujo, another one I watched as a kid. Really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people just find it to be boring and weird, but to me, it's a classic. To me, it's an absolute classic. I don't care what people say. I really do enjoy that one. I have yet to watch the Darkman trilogy, but I've heard a lot of good things, and my friend Lane has been trying to get me to watch the first one for a long time now. We'll get to it at some point. So you don't have to keep bothering me about it, Lane. I will get to it. Dark Shadows, another one that I think people gave a lot of hate to that was unnecessary. I think where a lot of criticism came was that they thought it was too much Tim Burton-y, because sometimes Tim Burton can really go the extra mile with some of his weirdness, and it might really just be cringy in a sense, and I don't get that at all with this movie. I liked Barnabas Collins, Johnny Depp as Barnabas Collins. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I liked the performances by the family. I like the villain. Villain was pretty good for the most part, and I just overall like the gothic feel, but I will say that the third act, the ending, got more of that Tim Burton-y weirdness. Like, the whole Chloe Grace Moretz comes out of her room, and she's a werewolf, and she looks at her mom and says, yeah, I'm a werewolf. Woof. And then attacks the bad guy. I just thought that was all cringe. That was cringy, but yeah, I enjoy the fuck out of that movie. It's pretty good. Dark Tower, have yet to watch it, but I've only heard bad things. Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead. 2 movies I actually watched pretty recently, actually. And I gotta say, I enjoyed Land of the Dead a lot more than I thought I would the second time, like the third, I think it was like the third time I watched it. And then Dawn of the Dead remake is a good time. I do not own the original, but I gotta get it at some point because I love the original movie. Day of the Animals, another one sent to me by Jason Dominguez. Have yet to watch it, but I do own it now, so thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. I'll get to it at some point. Oh, dude, I've seen this movie probably 5 times this year already. I've come back and watched it so many times now. Day of the Dead by George A. Romero. Man, this movie hits differently today. I gotta say, I just enjoy it. The douchebag villain, Rhodes. Bubs, I love Bubs. It's a weird one. But it works in all the right ways. I like all the characters. I like the soundtrack, which was pretty off and bizarre, but it was kind of neat. I liked it. I liked this movie. It was fun.
Now, George A. Romero takes us out of the night, beyond the dawn, and into the darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? They're dead! They're fucking dead, and you want to teach them tricks?
They have to be rewarded, Captain. Why else will they do what we want them to do?
I don't want them to do anything but drop over!
George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
Yeah, and the effects are probably the best in Day of the Dead. George A. Romero has, had awesome effects in his zombie films, but Day of the Dead is easily the best one when it comes to the effects. The crazy, like when people are turning on their side and all their intestines fall out and stuff, man, it makes you sick. It makes you a little ill. Dead Ant, have not yet watched it, but Dead Before Dawn, haven't seen it, so I can't give too much thought. Oh, come on. Can we get a sequel to Dead Silence? Like, there are so many possibilities with this franchise. Like, seriously, you don't have to get Billy again. You don't have to get Billy the puppet. We know what happens to Billy. You can just bring in another doll. You can bring in more dolls. I mean, for all we know, because at the end of the movie, Mary Shaw is still around, so maybe there are more dolls that we're unaware of. I mean, the possibilities are so endless, but can we get another sequel to this movie? I'm not sure if the actress who plays Mary Shaw is still alive, but if we can recast her maybe and just get someone, I seriously, I would love to see a sequel. Please, James Wan, please give me a shot. I'll direct it. The Dead Zone, did a reaction for it. Not sure if I'll post it to YouTube because I'm not proud of how it came out. I wanted it to be better quality, and I just feel like the audio, my voice is just kind of annoying in that. But I was good, man. It was good. That was another one sent to me by Jason Dominguez. Deadly Blessing, probably my least favorite Wes Craven movie. I love Wes Craven, but this was weird. The ending was just out of nowhere bizarre, and it wasn't even built up properly, I don't feel like. And the creepy, Amish people is a cool concept. It's just, it never really goes anywhere. It truly doesn't. We have one main guy who just gives those creepy, every once in a while, stern, creepy looks. But other than that, doesn't really go anywhere with the whole idea. Deep Blue Sea. Good. Good. I enjoyed that one. Gave me a lot of anxiety. Dario Argento's Demons and Demons 2. Evil Dead Rock. Dude, what can I say about Demons that has not been said already? I mean, there's a lot of people who have not seen these movies. And if you're an Evil Dead fan and have not seen Demons, oh my god, I highly recommend it. You know, these people go to a movie theater event and they're watching a movie that's about them finding demon remains and stuff, and like rich ruins and whatnot, and then these demons come out of the screen and start possessing everybody, and they all start killing each other. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I gotta say, I truly enjoy it, and the effects, the gore is so gnarly and so gross. It's so good. Please watch Demons if you have not watched them. Modern day classic, The Descent. If you have any sort of claustrophobia, you will not be able to watch that and not, breathe properly. Devil's Due. Have yet to watch it, but I've heard a lot of bad things about it. Dog Soldiers. Can't really say much. Have not watched it yet. This is an interesting one, man. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's good. Bela Lugosi steals the show, but it's boring. I've seen a lot of Universal Monster movies too, man, and this one might be one of my least favorites. It just bores me. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this. I find more enjoyment out of the original 1922 Nosferatu than I do that one. And I'm not even trying to be a dick. That movie's good. It's classic, obviously, but here's my preferred version of Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. I've seen The Godfather, and I think this might be my favorite Francis Ford Coppola movie. It's bizarre, it's weird, it's beautiful, it's bloody, it's so good. It feels like a stage play, but with like a theatrical feel to it. It's cool, man.
What are you?
Vampires do exist. This one we fight, this one we face. Can take on many forms. He is both young and old.
It's really cool. I dig the hell out of it. Dracula Untold. I don't hate it as much as other people have hated on it, but it certainly goes up there with a lot of those like kind of cash grabby kind of monster movies like I, Frankenstein and shit. Have no interest in going back and rewatching it. Drag Me to Hell, another one of those films that probably is beloved by a lot of people. I find it to be fine. It's fine to me. Then we got Dreamcatcher. It's fine. It just feels a little bit longer than it really is. It drags on too much. I want it to. It's like 134 minutes, but it feels like 3 hours long. Yeah. Not one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. Don't Breathe. Got a lot of love from a lot of people. It's fine. It didn't really do anything for me, personally. Escape from Tomorrow, I have yet to watch it, so I can't really say too much. I just know it was shot apparently illegally at Disneyland. Yeah. Okay, we got another franchise. Again, I'm not going to waste too much time. We got The Evil Dead, classic. Love it. Evil Dead 2. Army of Darkness. Probably my least favorite in the trilogy right there. And then we got the Evil Dead remake. And a lot of people have been asking me, are you going to upgrade the original Evil Dead to 4K? And I'm not, because it's so grainy as is. Why would I want to do that? But I will say I will probably upgrade Evil Dead Remake to 4K because the gore, the effects, the visuals. I mean, it's only 2013, so it's pretty relatively new. It might work out better with 4K.
No, it was the woods themselves. They're alive, actually.
And they did release a 4K of it not long ago. The Exorcist. What can I say about The Exorcist that hasn't been said already? Absolute classic. Beautiful movie. William Friedkin, please rest in peace. Great stuff you gave us. Love The Exorcist. Probably seen it. I've probably seen The Exorcist probably a little over 5 times this year already. Yeah, because I've just been enjoying it. I was actually watching it to kind of get ready for the new one, and I will watch the new one at some point. But you know, Fantasy Island. It's weird. The Fly collection here. We got the Fly collection. I have yet to actually sit down and watch most of these. I've seen the remake of The Fly, which I did a reaction for, but I have not watched The Fly, The Return of the Fly, Curse of the Fly, or The Fly 2 yet. So at some point, I will get to them. And I'm a big fan of Vincent Price, so I think Vincent Price is in the first one, right? Vincent Price is in the first one? Yeah, Vincent Price is in the first one, so I got to get around to watching that at some point. And the collection looks beautiful. This is a... Scream Factory nails it. That gets me ready to watch all the Fly movies, just looking at that box set. My favorite franchise of all time. My favorite slasher film, standalone slasher film, is the original Halloween, but Friday the 13th is my favorite slasher franchise of all time. It is repetitive, but I do love the camp setting, and I love Jason Voorhees. I love Pamela Voorhees. I love the feel. I love the style. Everything Friday the 13th related is... I'm there, man. I'm so there. This has every movie all the way up to the remake of Friday the 13th from 2009. And I love it, man. This box set is just completely epic. So, yeah. Had to get this. I think they already released another one, like a Steelbook set. Which is like, I've already debated on buying it because I'm just that big of a fan.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
Friday the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday the 13th.
That's probably my prized possession in my entire collection. I mean, that thing, I bought it for like $117, but still. Okay, we're going to bullet point the shit. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th Part 2. Friday the 13th Part 3. Fun fact, the first horror film I ever watched, I was probably about 4 or 5 years old when I watched this. My older sister snuck it on TV, the classic story. And yeah, my parents came home and were like, oh shit, he's watching a rated R movie. And I enjoyed it. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. My favorite Friday the 13th film. Has the best characters, has the best story, has the best version of Jason, in my personal opinion. You know, I love Richard Brooker and the Part 3 movie, which is my second favorite, but Ted White and this movie, so good. And, you know, the characters are likable. Again, you get introduced to Tommy Jarvis. It's so damn good. And the kills were awesome, too. And, you know, you got Tom Savini coming back to do the effects to try to kill off Jason for the final time. And, yeah, I enjoy the hell out of it. Still more Friday the 13th stuff. Friday the 13th Part 5 and 6, double feature. Freddy vs. Jason, fun fact, first Blu-ray ever bought. I was at my cousin's store at Caesars Creek Flea Market here in Wilmington, Ohio. And yeah, they had it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. And I bought it. 2009 Killer Cut, a movie I hated at first. The more I watched it, the more I liked it. And apparently they just released the script for Part 2 of that, you know, the unplanned, like the planned sequel they were gonna have for the 2009 remake. They actually were going to do it, and they released the script and everything, and apparently people said it was good script. So, kind of a bummer we never got it. Camp Crystal Lake Memories, or Crystal Lake Memories, the 4-hour documentary on how they made the franchise. If you're a big fan of the franchise all the way up to 2009 remake, you're probably going to really enjoy this documentary. I enjoyed it. I've seen it 4 times in my life so far, and I like it every time. It's just one of those things I love putting on in the background. And then we have the only fan film I have for the Friday the 13th franchise, which is Roseblood, the Friday the 13th fan film, directed by Peter Anthony. Really happy to have this in my collection. Big fan. I watched this, did a reaction to it, and it was well done, man. It was well done. I even said if this was the actual sequel to Friday the 13th Part 7, I'd have been okay with it, because I think he did a good job. You don't really even get to see the Jason till towards the end of the movie, but the build up and the payoff is well worth it. So, yeah, dug the hell out of that. He did a fantastic job. Fantastic. All right, so Final Destination movies. Only seen the first 2, so I can't really say too much about the sequels, but overall, yeah, from what I've seen, I liked it. It was fine. Found Footage 3D. Only bought it because it was that cool-ass slipcover. Look at that slipcover. That's the only reason why I bought it. The Final Wish, again, Lin Shaye, kind of one of those things where I'm like, is this actually a good movie, or did she just do it because that was a paycheck? You'll have to tell me in the comments. Flowers in the Attic. I did a reaction to this movie, and it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I know a lot of people were hoping I would like it, but the more I thought about it, the more it just wasn't. I just don't care. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Seen them both. Of course, Bram Stoker's Dracula, in my opinion, is way better, but Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, pretty good. Pretty good. The Faculty. I did a reaction to this movie. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. That one was fun. A movie I really feel like I was a little bit too heated on at first. I really feel like I gave this an unfair review. This is a good time, man. This was a really good time. If you go back and watch my reaction, I had an issue with Jeffrey Combs' character. I thought he was annoying and weird. And the second time I watched it, I thought, man, this guy's funny. And I don't know where I was when I first watched this movie. I guess I wasn't in that good of a place. But I think this is a fun time. Really. Michael J. Fox, I mean, it's fun. Peter Jackson directing it. Best vampire movie of all time. Fright Night. Fright Night is the best vampire movie in my personal opinion. I've seen this movie so many times. Love it, man. Love it. I wish we'd get more vampire movies like that. Fright Night 2. Have yet to watch it, but it was like $3.99, so I bought it. From Dusk Till Dawn. Fun time. Gotta like it. Jordan Peele's Get Out. Probably Jordan Peele's best movie. I've seen all of his movies so far, and this, to me, is probably his most rewatchable. And makes you ask the most questions. It was good, man. It was good. I really dug it. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Ghostbusters 1, awesome. Ghostbusters 2, enjoyable. Have yet to watch it. Afterlife. I do have Afterlife, but I have not seen it yet. I was debating on doing a reaction to it, honestly, at some point. But, yeah, I gotta get to it. Ginger Snaps. Awesome. Awesome. What can I say about it? I just did a reaction to part 2 and really enjoyed it. Doesn't hold a candle to the first one. Still love the first one more. And then we have the more modern day Goosebumps, Goosebumps 1 and Goosebumps 2. Goosebumps 2 is throwaway kind of straight DVD release kind of movie. Goosebumps was actually a good fun time with Jack Black, so highly recommend that one. But on the same lines of like Jumanji. Really dug it. Okay, continuing on, we got up next. I have not seen this movie, but I do have it. Green Room. Big A24 fan, so I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet, honestly. Gremlins 1 and 2. Gremlins being one of my favorite films of all time. You gotta love Gremlins, Gizmo, Stripe. Fucking love this movie. I really do. Fuck, these guys are loud. Gretel and Hansel, have yet to watch it, but I've heard it's kind of disappointing, but I will watch it at some point. Grizzly did a movie reaction. Jason, thank you for sending me this. Grizzly. Crazy 70s little movie right there. The Gray. Good time. Underrated. No one talks about this one, but Liam Neeson going up against like the wolves and the wild man, it's pretty good. Pretty good. No one talks about that one. Halloween. I got the box set right here. This has, of course, the original John Carpenter's film all the way up to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which is, we start from the best one to get to the worst one. It's good, man. It's great. The franchise is so classic. It is one I watch. This franchise, for the most part, is something I watch every year around this time of year. And, I mean, what can you say about Halloween that hasn't been said already? Michael Myers, of course, is a classic slasher. I even love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which most people don't even consider to be a part of the franchise, but I certainly truly enjoy it and love it for what it is. What else can we say, man? It's just an awesome franchise. It's just an awesome franchise that we truly, deeply do love. And then we have the more recent franchise, the more recent trilogy, I should say. We got Halloween 2018, 4K, of course, because I love it that much. We got Halloween Kills, because I enjoyed it that much. I know a lot of people did not. I enjoy the fuck out of it. And then we have probably the most controversial film in the franchise, which is Halloween Ends. You either hate it or you love it. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you either say that you hate it, and you have a lot of people saying, well, you're a piece of shit, you just don't understand Halloween, or you don't understand what they were going for. Or you have a lot of people who, or if you say you love it, then you have a lot of people saying you're not a Halloween fan if you love it. So, yeah, it's one of those kind of movies. I liked it, man. I liked it. I don't care what people say. I liked it. It was different. It was different. And you know what? Sometimes we need a little bit different in this franchise. Now, will I say what they did with Michael Myers? Is that maybe different in the wrong kind of reason? It's kind of wrong in the wrong way? Yeah, I'd say that what they did with Michael Myers in this movie was kind of unforgivable as a Halloween fan. I do like that they tried something. They tried to take risks. It's just, fuck. You know, sometimes those risks did not pay off.
Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Come on now.
Halloween. The night he came home.
Halloween Night. Have yet to watch it. Halloween Night. But I do have a couple fan films in my collection. This is the Sounds of the Lambs trilogy with Manhunter, Sounds of the Lambs, and Hannibal. Of course, Sounds of the Lambs being an absolute gem. Happy Birthday to Me. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Seen the first one, have not seen the second one. Hatchet, Hatchet 2, Hatchet 3, Victor Crowley. Yep, and that's the Hatchet franchise. Fun, man. I like the Hatchet franchise. It's definitely inspired by Friday the 13th. I mean, it really is inspired by Friday the 13th. Instead of it being like about a mom, it's about a dad. Like where Victor Crowley's out in the woods saying, "Daddy." It's creepy, man. And you know, you got Kane Hodder, who played Jason in Part 7, all the way up to Jason Goes to Hell playing Victor Crowley too. So yeah, it's definitely inspired by Friday the 13th, and it's a lot of fun. Hellfest, have yet to watch it, but this one's been recommended to me quite a few times, at least this year. People have been saying, have you seen Hellfest yet? And I'm like, nope, but I do own it. Hellraiser 1s, 2, and 3. I've seen the first 2, and that's it. And I saw the Hulu movie, but yeah, haven't seen anything past that. But I enjoyed the first one a bit. Probably my favorite Clive Barker movie, safely. Like most people. Hereditary, everybody was loving this movie. I thought it was good. Okay, I thought it was good. There was a lot of creepy moments, specifically when the mom tries to channel her daughter and the daughter's talking to her. That shit was unsettling. And of course, you know, the scene where he's driving down the road and the daughter, you know, sticks her head out the window. Yeah, that shit, crazy good. But at the end of the day, it's just one of those movies. It was a good one-time watch for me, because I just have no interest in going back and watching it again. It was a good one-time watch. It is not this generation's Exorcist, believe you and me. But it was good. This, if we're talking, okay, let's talk about like some of the best remakes of all time. The Hills Have Eyes from 2004, I want to say, either 2004 or 2006, one of the two, is so incredibly damn awesome. It literally elevates everything from the original one and makes it better. Instead of them just being kind of, they're not even really mutated, to be honest, in the desert in the original one. They're just kind of survivalists who've just been surviving in the wild. But in this one, they're actually like mutated beings. It's creepy, man. It's creepy. Hocus Pocus, another one of those childhood classics that I watch every year. And yes, it is in the horror collection because it's Halloweeny, and you know, Halloween movies deserve to be in the horror collection. Horror Express. I forgot I got sent this. Horror Express. Have yet to watch it. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. I enjoy this trilogy, man. House of a Thousand Corpses being my absolute favorite. You know, rest in peace, Sid Haig. And the two other ones are fine. I'm not like a diehard Devil's Rejects fan like everybody else is. A lot of people say that it's Rob Zombie's best movie. I think House of a Thousand Corpses is Rob Zombie's best movie. The Howling. Been a while, but I got to go back and watch that. But I did love it at first. Insidious. Insidious Chapter 2 being my favorite one of the franchise. Insidious Chapter 3. And we got the last key here. We do own Insidious, the new one, the Red Door. It's downstairs. It's not mine. It's my dad's. But I do own my personal collection. I do own the rest of them, the 4. Insidious is good, man. It's so good. The first one and second one are definitely the best in the franchise. Creepy, unsettling, the Woman in Black, Lady in Black, or whatever. Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, that scene from the first Insidious where the little boy's dancing in the living room. Fuck that. Interview with the Vampire, which I love, and then Queen of the Dam, which I thought was okay. Interview with the Vampire Man. I did a movie reaction to this, and it's been one of my favorite vampire movies ever since. Ever since. The Invisible Man. Good. Blew me away the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, wow, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. We got the original It from the 1990s, classic. This is probably one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. And, you know, Tim Curry giving us the best performance of Pennywise we've ever gotten. Sorry, Bill Skarsgård, but Tim Curry will always hold that as the high title, you know what I'm saying? So, It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 kind of fell flat for me. So after the second time watching it, I really did not care for it all too much. But the first one was awesome. First one, awesome. Second one was okay. And it had some great Pennywise moments, had some great moments, but it as an overall movie, it needed some work. So, yeah. Just my opinion. It Comes at Night. Not one for me. Very boring. I thought it was very boring. It Follows. Awesome. Awesome movie. Very surprising. Jaws. Classic, man. Classic. Everybody loves Jaws. I've not met one person who has told me Jaws sucks. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. Jeepers Creepers being one of my favorite horror films of all time. Yes, I'm completely aware of Victor Salva, the piece of shit human being who made the movie, and the piece of shit movie guy who made the first 3 movies, let's be real. But I saw Jeepers Creepers long before I found out the guy was a pedo. So, I mean, I just cannot not love that movie. You know, I separate the artist from the art at that point, because I truly do love Jeepers Creepers. It terrifies me, it creeps me out, and the story is really damn decent. And it is inspired by actually a real event that happened about like a couple or an older couple who were driving down some back roads and then saw a guy burying a body, and the guy started following them, and then he took off. So it actually is kind of based on a true story in a sense. But, I mean, the first movie is damn near classic, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I do not support Victor Salva. I think the guy's a piece of shit human being. Should have definitely not have been in Hollywood after that movie, after Clown House or whatever he made. He should not have been doing anything. He should have been done. But unfortunately, that's just not how the world works, and he was able to continue doing what he was doing. So, Jeepers Creepers 1, awesome, love it. Jeepers Creepers 2, pretty damn good sequel. Really enjoyed Jeepers Creepers 2. Now we get to the one where it ruined the franchise. Jeepers Creepers 3 ruined the fucking franchise. It had potential to be actually decent, but at the end of the day, the CGI is horrible. The creeper is not really all that creepy in this movie. He's not that scary. And the truck being an actual character, like his actual vehicle, shooting shit at people and opening the door by itself and having traps in it and stuff, and it was too much, in my opinion. And then them trying to tell the story. Again, they try to tell too much, and it takes away from the scariness of the creeper. So yeah, not a fan of that. I do own Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I have yet to watch it, but I heard it's the worst in the franchise. And it had a different director. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. One of my personal favorite movies of all time. I love this thing. It's so goofy. It's so cheesy. It knows exactly what it's trying to do, and that's why I love it. I will not love that movie.
Why here? Why now? Why clowns? They've been knocking him dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Soon they'll be doing it at a theater near you. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's crazy.
I don't care what people say. It's good to me. Krampus. It's fine. It's a fine little movie. Trick or Treat is by far the director's best. Michael Daugherty, I think is his name. By far, Trick or Treat's his best. Legion. Crazy little... crazy. Leprechaun, the franchise. The first one is a classic from my childhood, so I will always dig it. Leprechaun 2 is fine. Leprechaun 3 is decent. And then the rest of the franchise, and yeah. yeah, okay. Leprechaun Returns. I liked it. Oh, love The Lighthouse. Love The Lighthouse. Oh my gosh, I've seen this so many times, and I laugh. It's funny. It's creepy. It's dark. The mermaid scene freaks me out. It is so good. It is so damn good. It's one of my favorite films, I have to say. Probably top 50. I love it that much. Yeah, A24 kicks ass. Lights Out. Have yet to watch it. Little Monsters. Believe it or not, never seen it. Never seen Little Monsters. It will happen at some point. It will happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. The Lost Boys, classic. What can I say about The Lost Boys? 80s, badassery, vampires, when vampires were actually awesome. Like Fright Night and Lost Boys, vampire movies I love. Disc is rolling around in there. Give me 1 second. But I've never seen this movie. I own it. It was sent to me. Ma. I'm actually an associate producer for this one. The Macabre. Yep, I'm actually an associate producer for this. Has everybody's autographs on it too. I'm also an associate producer for his upcoming movie called Infernal, which is on Indiegogo right now, trying to gain the money. And everybody's been kicking so much ass donating to the project too. So thank you so much. I'm sure he's gonna really appreciate that. Eric, you badass. Magic, apparently getting a remake here soon. Pretty underrated. It's not what you would expect. It's not your typical slasher film, but it's good. Mars Attacks. Maximum Overdrive. Fun, crazy time. The Meg is fine. Don't have much to say about it. It's just fine. Mimic, the 3 film set. I have yet to watch those. Mind Warp and Brain Scan. Have not seen either. Stephen King's Misery. So fucking good, man. So good. And I actually bought a clown collection, like an old antique clown collection from somebody who looked exactly like Kathy Bates did in this movie. Annie Wilkes looked exactly like her, which was pretty crazy and fun. So yeah, I have a lot. This film is so good, man. It's so good. It's so intense too. It's probably one of the most intense psychological thrillers you'll ever watch in your life. Basically about an author who gets like in a wreck during a snowstorm, and this woman comes out to save his ass. He's an author, I should have said. He's an author who gets stuck in a snowstorm, and this woman comes out to save him out in the middle of nowhere. And this person actually is his biggest fan in a toxic kind of way, and starts going psycho on him. Yeah, pretty crazy. Literally if you're a celebrity, one of your worst fears ever, right? The Mist, one of my more recent reactions, I have to say, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was intense. The ending, shocking. Did not see it coming. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, and I had to buy it. I bought that this year. I bought it. It was a more recent buy. The Mummy, classic, childhood classic. Used to watch it every Halloween. My Bloody Valentine. Right up there with The Burning and Black Christmas. My Bloody Valentine, one of the most underappreciated slasher films out there. Absolutely love it. I have a funny story about this Blu-ray. I was at FYE, I want to say. It was FYE, and I was picking this up, and it was the last one they had at the store. And you know how delicate these slipcovers are, right? Like, people love the slipcovers. They're so hard to get. And sometimes they go out of print, so you can't even get them anymore after a certain time. And this was the last My Bloody Valentine they had. And I took it up to the guy at the register. And while he was waiting, he took the case and started banging against the checkout line, the actual, the thing. He started banging the corner on it. And now this corner is all bent up and going up. Dude, I was so pissed off. I'm like, you have no idea what you just did. Like, to you, it's just a job. You're just there to make money. But to, like, a collector, when you go shopping at FYE, you want to get, a good conditioned Blu-ray for your collection, and you just fucked that up. Like, I don't think he had any idea what he just did. Pissed me off, though. I was ready to, like, say, why don't you go get me a replacement, you fucking dick? But I didn't, obviously, because I'm a good person. I just let it go. My Best Friend is a Vampire. Have yet to watch it, but more of a recent pickup. And then we have one I've only watched once, and that is Jake Gyllenhaal. I think is how you pronounce his name, Gyllenhaal. And Nightcrawler. It was fine, man. It was good. I liked it. It was a good movie. It's just not one of those ones I feel like I can go back and watch all the time. I know, like, John Flickinger from over at the Flick Pick, he loves this movie. I think he even made a t-shirt after it, but to me, it's good. It's good. It's a good time. All right, what do we got next? Okay, oh yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, baby. Nightmare on Elm Street. You gotta have Nightmare on Elm Street. Please, can we get a new release for this? Can we get a new fucking release for Nightmare on Elm Street, the collection? This is one of the most disappointing, fucking boring-looking collections I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, this is shameful. I mean, fucking Friday the 13th and Halloween had decent damn box sets. Even Chucky had decent box sets. Hell, even fucking Leprechaun had a steelbook that was decent. Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the big three. Come on, we gotta do better. And you know what? My favorite one actually might be the original now. I rewatched Dream Warriors and the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think the first one is actually my favorite one now. And then the remake, which I actually enjoy the remake. I know a lot of people hate it. I liked it. I thought, yeah, the twist where he's actually a pedophile was a big mistake. I still stand by that. You can't root for the guy at all. Like, one of the best parts about the original Nightmare on Elm Street is that you love Freddy, but you can't really love a pedophile. So I don't love him in the remake. I hate him because he's a pedophile. He's a straight up, they announce it. This guy did stuff. And it's like, wow. Freddy sucks in this movie. He really does. He's the guy you really don't want to see anymore. So, yeah. Yeah.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
What did that, Lieutenant? I don't know. What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Amazing franchise, though. And then we got one I just recently picked up, which was the Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares Steelbook. It's apparently a documentary about Robert Englund. Yeah. Really gotta check that out at some point. Night of the Living Dead by George A. Romero. Night in the Woods, have yet to watch it. Night of the Creeps, a lot of fun. It's Miller time. No Good Deed, have yet to watch it, but it was sent to me, so at some point I will get to that. Probably the first Scream Factory box set I got, which was the Omen collection. I've seen them all the way up to part 2, and I've seen the remake. Have yet to watch part 3 and 4. Orca, the Killer Whale. Orca, the Killer Whale. Have yet to watch it. But I love the look of it. Looks really fun. The Others, oh, so good. So good. The Other Side of the Door. I saw the trailer for this movie, and it looked so awesome. And then I hear all these bad reviews. I actually started watching the movie, and I was so bored. Yeah, very disappointed. Very disappointed. Ouija, Origin of Evil. Have not seen this, or the first one yet. But I do own them. Overlord. Good. Good. It's good. It's fun time. The People Under the Stairs. Awesome Wes Craven movie. One of his more underappreciated ones, I gotta say. I would probably say Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite, but People Under the Stairs might be my second. I truly do like it a lot. The Paranormal Activity 6-film collection. I even might buy the big box set. This was sent to me by a subscriber, and I really appreciate it. Like, I really do, because I'm not a diehard fan of the Paranormal Activity movies, but when you have a friend over and you're like, hey, you just want to watch Paranormal Activity, it's kind of fun to sit down and just watch them because of how, shitty some of them can be, and it's just one of those franchises, It's one of those weird, dumb, kind of out there franchises. Pet Sematary, we got the original Blu-ray, and because I love this film so much, we got the 4K, and because I like this franchise a lot, I got the remake. I have yet to buy Pet Sematary 2, but dude, I love Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary is my favorite Stephen King movie of all time. It's a beautiful, gross masterpiece. Phantom of the Opera, not a big fan. And then we got Phantasm. Let's see here. Phoenix Forgotten. I've seen it once. It was fine. It was fine. Poltergeist remake. Dog shit. The Pope's Exorcist. Have yet to watch it, but I do own it. The Possession of Hannah Grace. Have yet to watch it. I think this is the Predator trilogy. Yeah, this is the really dope Predator Steelbook. Predator trilogy Steelbook. First one is awesome. Second one is blah. And then Predators is pretty damn good. President's Day. The Prophecy. Have yet to watch it. Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock. Classic. Okay, we got The Purge. The Purge Anarchy. I think this might be the last Purge movie I have. The first Purge, I don't have that many Purge movies. I got to get them all, but those are the ones I do own. The Pyramid. We have A Quiet Place. Good. Good. The Raven. Been a long time since I've watched The Raven. I got to revisit that one at some point. Ready or Not, which I have yet to watch. Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead Part 2. And thanks to Harley over here on my channel, Return of the Living Dead Part 3, which I now own the trilogy. Return of the Living Dead, of course, the original, is one of my favorite horror films of all time. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. First time watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I was kind of mixed on it, but the second time I watched it, I have a new profound kind of admiration for it. Salem's Lot has become one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. I think that's fucking awesome. Sands of Oblivion, have not seen it. Santa Sangria, weird. Absolute weird movie, but beautiful. It's a very artsy kind of movie. Very good foreign film, though. And then the Saw franchise. This has all the way up to Jigsaw. I have not watched anything past part 2. So the rest of the Saw franchise, I'm very new to. So I won't be seeing Saw X anytime soon because I have still yet to watch the rest of the franchise. Though I think people already said to me that Saw X takes place before parts 1 and in between parts 1 and part 2, so I could probably watch it and get away with it. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It really should have been an anthology. Stop making these fucking movies and not making them anthology movies. Like Goosebumps could have been an anthology. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark could have been an anthology. The new Goosebumps series, apparently on Disney Plus, is not an anthology. Why aren't they anthology movies? Come on, people, fucking make an anthology movie. Scary Stories would have been perfect as an anthology. It's beginning to piss me off, to be honest with you. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. The Scream franchise, what can I say? I have yet to get Scream 6. I have Screams 1, 2, and 3. I have yet to get Scream 4. And I have Scream 5. I have yet to get Scream 4 and 6. The Sentinel. Have not yet watched it. Serial Mom. And if I'm not mistaken, I think someone from here passed away not long ago. Wasn't it Kathleen Turner who passed away? If I'm not mistaken. Maybe, I'm not sure. Serial Mom. 7. Probably my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. Signs. Childhood classic. Scared the hell out of me then. Scares the hell out of me today. Creeps me out. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Weird. But it has some enjoyment to it. Silent Hill. Really enjoyed it. Quite a bit, actually. I like it. Silver Bullet. Another one of those childhood classics I watched along Cujo and Children of the Corn. She Kills. Have yet to watch it. Shivers, have yet to watch it. The Shining, another one of those classic Stephen King movies, but Stephen King really does not like it, but I enjoy the hell out of it. Dr. Sleep, almost called it Red Rum. Dr. Sleep, awesome, surprised the hell out of me. Probably, this came out the same year as It Chapter 2, and I liked this more than It Chapter 2. Shutter Island, have yet to watch it, but I do own it. Sinister. People love this movie. People actually hold it up there as one of the scariest movies ever. And I don't think it's there for me, but it's good. Sleepaway Camp. Rewatched this not too long ago, and I enjoyed it more the second time. Slender Man. Oh, God. So dumb. Smile. I liked it. I liked Smile. Brought a smile to my face. Some Kind of Hate. Stephen King's The Stand. Have yet to watch it. Then we have The Strangers Pray at Night. I don't own The Strangers yet on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD, but not Blu-ray. And then we're ending that off with The Swarm, which I have yet to see. Okay, guys, so this is the last couple of little rows of Blu-rays I have, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching this Blu-ray collection video. I did, yes, bullet point a lot of them, and I didn't go through a whole lot, but I already guarantee you this video is probably going to be close to an hour long anyway, so I'll talk about these next ones here a little bit more, but we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original classic movie, and this is one of my favorite films of all time. I have seen this movie more times than I can count. I've been to the gas station with my buddy back in 2021. We went to the gas station and actually watched the actual original movie there, where Sally Hardesty was chased into the actual gas station where Drayton Sawyer was before he kidnapped her and took her back to the house. So yeah, we actually went there, and it was pretty surreal. Love this film.
This is the movie that Rex Reed called the most horrifying motion picture I have ever seen. This film is positively ruthless in its attempt to drive you right out of your mind.
Sally, I hear something. Stop. Stop.
This is the movie Rex Reed called the most horrifying motion picture I have ever seen. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Absolutely classic. We got Texas Chainsaw 3D from 2013, I want to say, and we got Leatherface from 2019. These are the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies I own on Blu-ray. I do own Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 on DVD, but these are the ones I own on Blu-ray. We'll get the rest of them at some point. Yes, probably all of them, because I'm a completionist in a sense. We got both the Thing movies, John Carpenter's The Thing, superior, and we got the prequel to John Carpenter's The Thing, which came out in 2011, which was enjoyable, but too much CGI, but this one is an absolute badass movie. Love that film. We have The Toll. We have Train to Busan, which is, in my opinion, a modern-day classic. Tremors 1. Have yet to buy the rest of them. Trick or Treat, classic. Watched this last night, actually, the other night. Yeah, Monday night. I watched this Monday night. Love it. Still. We have probably one of the best, worst movies of all time, Troll 2. It's enjoyable. You get drunk with a couple friends. You might really love it. Stupid. Twister. I think they're making a sequel. Another Jordan Peele movie. We got Us, which was fine. I didn't love it, but it was fine. The Violent Kind. Have not seen it. VFW, which has been recommended to me so many times, so I got to get around to it at some point. We have David Cronenberg's Videodrome, which I think was sent to me by Harley again, so thank you, Harley, for sending me Videodrome. War of the Worlds. Have yet to watch it. We got Waxwork. Waxwork 1 and 2. I have... We got Waxwork 1 and 2. Have yet to watch these, but they look really cool. I love the covers, and I've been so curious to check them out. Willy's Wonderland, a lot of fun. Again, Five Nights at Freddy's. Be awesome, be better. But it was good. Winchester, disappointing movie, but I do own it. It could have been so much more, in my opinion. We have the Wishmaster collection. I watched this at my neighbor's house. We all, sat around and watched them, and you know what? They're fine. They're fine. They're kind of like the Leprechaun series in a sense, where it's just kind of silly goofiness, but you enjoy it. The Witch. Great A24 movie. And then we got The Witches, which is amazing. One of those one-time-a-year-round movies I watch now. What We Do in the Shadows. Freaking hilarious. Great vampire comedy. If you have not seen it, highly recommend it. Witchboard. Really enjoyable movie. The Wolfman. We got the original. And we got the, of course, 2010 remake, which I still enjoy. I know a lot of people hate it, but I enjoy it. The Woman in Black. Too many jump scares. Yeah, but still overall. Good time, good atmosphere. World War Z, I think we're trying to get a sequel, but it needs to happen ASAP, or people are just going to lose interest. We got Wrong Turns all the way up to Part 5, and we got the Wrong Turn movie from 2019. I want to say it was 2019 when this came out. 2021, and the rest of the Wrong Turn franchise. I've only seen Parts 1 and 2 of the original Wrong Turn franchise, and I have yet to watch this one. But the first one is great. I really enjoy it. I just got this recently, X, which people have been recommending to me for a long time now. I just have yet to actually sit down and watch it, but a big A24 fan, and I'm a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, and people have been saying that X is very much Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque. So, looking forward to watching that. Zombieland and Zombieland 2, double tap. Zombieland better by far, but Zombieland 2 is not bad. And then we have Zombie, which surprised the hell out of me. It was fun. It was fine. It's a bit of a slow burn, but... And I feel like we needed more zombie stuff, but it was just fine. That is it, guys. That is my entire horror Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you saw any in there. Leave your comments down below. So let me know if you saw some in there that you think I should have in my collection, or movies that you didn't see in there that you think I should have in my collection. Sorry. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Keep it retro. Do take care.